Ryan Little.
Welcome, everybody. This is OG with Building Greatness. We're here on our sixth episode, and I'm going to give a thanks to Genesis Radio for another fulfilling moment to express to the world some of the things that I feel will make us better, progress ourselves to another level. I'm grateful to have this opportunity. I'm grateful for all the support that I get from multiple ways. And I always want to shout out, of course, my sponsors. Lady Sensei is Chisholm Jerry, Sidagu, Odette Russell and the Swam family, Mutaka Beer. Also, I want to thank Cornelia Wright, Rue Wright, Eric Beckles, and Wayne Farram. Okay, these are all people who have been sponsors, and also you can find Wayne Farram Photography on my page. He's a great photographer in Arizona. If you're in that area, check him out. Also, Lady Sensei is a character building, leadership building martial artist who also is world renowned. Sidagu, Odette Russell, and Mutaka Beer and the Swam family. They are one of my greatest supporters. They are also martial artists who build dignity and character in people who come to their dojo. You don't just get a you don't just learn martial arts, but you learn about yourself. And martial arts is a good basis to basically build character, leadership, and also a healthy lifestyle, physical fitness. Okay, so I'm giving everybody a shout out there, and I'm going to talk more about my sponsors towards the break of the program or towards the end of the program. But I just want to let you know those are some great people. Then we also have some great supporters. You know, Onisha, Tina Brown, Kim Jones, the McDonald family, Israel McDonald, Kareem and Lucius McDonald, great supporters from the show Youth Voice Collectives. They're very supportive. I'm grateful for all their support. And the young man that they bring to the table, Israel McDonald, is such a great man, such a great young man, and I'm glad to have him on Youth Voice Collective. Also, I want to thank 570 MMA Gym, the Hybrid MMA, Kristen Grandiose. He's always sending me some great people, and also the young man Julian who won his tournament in Philly. Great. I'm proud of you. I know you're a great man, and you're also going to be doing commercials and other great things. So just wanted to give that shout out. And today we're going to be talking about food co-oping and character assessment. Now, they may sound like they don't go well, but they do. So I'm going to start with what a food co-op is. So a food co-op allows a group of people to control their food source. Okay, so when you're able to control your food source and your economy, your economics, what happens is you're able to choose and decide what you want to do, and it gives you leverage to control the pricing of what you're buying. Okay, so when we're talking about leverage, economic leverage, that's one of the things. If you want to be self-sustaining and you want to build a greater life, the first thing you want to do is control what you put in your body, which is food. Okay, you also want to control what buys the food, is your economics. And the two best ways to do those things are through food co-ops. Now, food co-ops are, it could be one or two. I've done it in Brooklyn before, a food co-op, and it was great and very successful, but we only did it with 3 people, even though we had a lot of people who we discussed it with. And they didn't understand the concept of collective power. So when you food co-op, it could be many things. It can mean you have a grow-op, meaning you grow food. You have a farmer, or you have somebody who grows the food or raises the type of meat you eat if you eat meat. And you invest into that to get a return that you would pay less if you went to a retail store. So for instance, if you went and you bought toilet paper, right? If you buy toilet paper now, let's just say you buy a roll of Scott tissue, 12 rolls. You're going to pay about $9, okay? That's not how much it costs to make it. That's not how much the distributor price is. That is just the retail price and the overhead that the retail is also charging you. So when you food co-op, what it allows you to do is go straight to the distributor. And now you're cutting your price almost to a quarter of the price of which you would pay, depending on how much you buy. So say we went to food co-op and there were 10 people, and we know we use toilet paper every day of the year. The first thing you want to do is discuss what brand you're going to invest into, and you investigate the brand because you want to know where your dollars are going from the start to the finish, and how well is it circulating back to you or to something of substance. So I always investigate the companies and find out who has shares in those companies. And the people who have shares, are those people, are they reciprocal? Do they give back? Do they help communities? Do they give things? Are they charitable? And those are the things that make me decide what product I'm gonna buy. And I also, when I'm doing food co-oping, okay, when you have retail, you have no choice. You buy what's there. The same company you may be sitting there saying, oh, well, I'm tired of people taking jobs, may be the same company you're investing into. So the best thing to do is investigate the company that you're buying from, or the business or the product. So I investigate the product and find out, is it conducive or reciprocal to what I'm trying to do? And then we have a discussion. Our 10-party team will have a discussion on which choices we're going to make on what product we're going to buy, whether it's Scott tissue, whether it's whatever, Brawny, whatever it is. I say Freedom toilet paper is one of the things I might buy, because Freedom is basically independently owned tissue maker. They make tissue, paper towels, and things of that nature. And I know that, I like to support independent business. Mostly I like to support local business, but since not yet we don't have any local business that produce toilet paper, food co-oping would be great to get toilet paper, dishwashing liquid, and bulk items of that nature. And what you do is you buy a 6-month supply between 10 people, you make the investment, and you are basically paying pennies for the same product you would have bought dollars. So you save a certain amount of money. So say toilet paper costs, let's just say $1 for a roll. When you food co-op, you get it at a price of maybe 10 to 15 cents for that same roll. So you're saving yourself 85 cents. So you take the 85 cents and you put that in an account and let it roll. You let it sit. And by the end of the year, the food co-op comes together and says, hey, look what we just did. We just saved ourselves, and it might be an extreme amount of money you saved. And that's just one product. But try several products, food co-oping, and then at the end of the year, see how much money you saved. And you take the money you saved and you invest it into something else. So it's not always that simple. I'm just trying to break it down so people understand in a simplified way. I hope I'm not being too complicated. If I'm being too complicated, please put it here and put it on my screen, because we are Facebook Live right now at Genesis Radio. And if you have anything that's complicated that I'm talking about, you don't understand, you can always go on there and, and I can explain it a little bit more in depth. Or at the 9:30, 9:40 hour, also we'll be taking calls. But I'm not going to take calls yet because I want to break down what I'm talking about.
6:30.
Pardon?
6:30.
Oh, 6:30. My bad. Yeah. As I say, y'all know me. Sometimes I'm a little off, but it's okay. All right. Anyway, like I said, so that's just going for toilet paper. So I'm just using toilet paper as an example. But on a larger scale, when you food co-op, you have a committee of people and decide what products are we going to buy in bulk and how much is it going to save us for the year. And those little pennies, dimes, nickels, and dollars that you think don't mean anything mean a whole lot at the end of the year when you realize how much you saved. On toilet paper alone, at the end of the year, like I said, you're saving 85 cents. If you bought toilet paper by the pallet, you would basically buy for 15 cents, okay, instead of $1. So imagine how much you save on the bulk scale. between 10 people or 100 people. So food co-oping is essential to start getting a hold of your economics and getting a hold of your food source and investigating the companies to make sure that they are aligned with your beliefs, make sure they are aligned with the reciprocal nature of maybe the type of team you're trying to build. That's what stock market people do. So when people think about stock market, they don't understand that that's how the stock market works. You know, they have people who sit around, think tank, or a group of investigators who invest, or analysts who sit and look at the data, and they say, okay, the data says this, like people, it's about Christmas time, people about to, or let's say Thanksgiving. I mean, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but you know, I'm just going to use that for example. And they know that a large amount of people are going to eat turkeys, you know, because the amount of turkeys they got to produce for Thanksgiving is larger than the normal amount they would do on any given month. So investors say we're gonna invest into the feed that feeds the turkeys. We're gonna invest into the companies that make turkeys. We're gonna invest into the turkeys and the processing and all the products that are made from that product. And they invest for that month, and they quadruple their profits by just looking at the data and the trends. So when you have a food co-op, you know, not all food co-ops operate that way with a think tank or a group of people who discuss what the products are going to buy. But I'm suggesting that we investigate, you know, the companies that we're going to put our money into. So when you're trying to discuss, you know, when you're trying to change your lifestyle, you know, that's what this show is about. You know, building greatness is about gaining control over your life. Okay? We don't complain about what people are not doing here because we worry about what we can do and the power that we have in our hands to make the changes that we can. So food co-oping is one of the many things you can do. I have a lot of things that I could go down the list that I will be going down to the list, but in this show today, we're just specifically talking about food co-oping because as of now, I'm trying to build a food co-op team, whether you're in East Stroudsburg or somewhere else. If you are in East Stroudsburg or in the Pocono area, I would love for you to contact me. You could go to my website, or you could just go to my page, or you could just contact me. You go to Building Greatness /YVC Youth Voice Collective. You can contact me at OG Akins and just inbox me through Messenger if you're interested. And we can have a further discussion because, of course, I can't explain everything in this one show. But I can give you the basics. Again, the importance of knowing where our money goes, where we're spending our money is important. Because we can't complain about the conditions we in. We can't even complain about politics and nothing if you just endlessly spending money and not investigating the people who you're investing the money into. You know, because you may be paying for your own demise. That's how it goes. So there's nothing wrong with, and not everybody has the research in them, but that's why you build a team of people who have different duties. Some people investigate the price of the product. Some people investigate the return that we're going to get by saving by doing this. Some people are bargainers and they sit there and they create the leverage between different distributors and say, look, we got 1,000 people about to buy more than what a retail store is going to buy from you. What do we get out the deal? Are we going to get the toilet paper at 25 cents, 15 cents? Because if you're going to give it to us 25 cents, we're walking. We're going to the next distributor. And you bargain. And that's how you have leverage when you do things, whether it's a bank, whether it's another product, whether it's a school system, whether it's your governing system or the political system. Use a collective force to leverage what you want from them. You know, politics don't work because you want them to work. Politics don't work because we just want good people to do good things. That's a dream. Okay, it worked by people coming together, putting their heads together, deciding what is going to serve them, what is going to serve their interests first. Okay, how is the reciprocal nature of the business, the product, or the people you're investing into? If they are not reciprocal, just like as well as me, I got like 5,000, close to 5,000 people on Facebook. Not quite, but close to it. And between all my other social medias, it's very rare that I have people that are really discussing real issues. I have a few people, a handful of people who are serious and want to get down, and want to control their lives and start to shape and redesign where we're going. As Kim Jones says, and I believe the same thing, is we have to redesign what we want, and that's what we're going to do, and that's what I'm about. So if we're looking at redesigning, we're looking at economically redesigning where our money goes. We're looking at redesigning where we think, the way our thought process is. We're redesigning the type of people we have around us. That's important, because the people around you ain't about it. They're going to drag you and anchor you down. It's like a food co-op. You got one person, I don't do this and I don't do that. I don't want this. You complain too much, just be out and bounce, because we're about making it happen, And the world is at a serious critical juncture. And I don't have to tell you how critical it is. You see it, And this is the time not to get scared and shook and be like, oh my God, the world's coming to the end and we got to, no. This is the time that allows you the opportunity to see how real you are about what you're talking about, how real you want it, how bad you need it. You know what I mean? And if you really badly need it, I don't have to sit here and repeat myself every week. You know what I'm saying? Because if you about it, you're going to hit me up. We're going to come to the table. Look, I don't got all the answers. You may have another key to that answer that could connect the greater cause. You may have a better idea than I do. You may have a better way of doing it. But if you're serious, we're going to inbox, because serious people do serious things. And, again, like I said, I'm sorry that I'm not the really jokey, funny, laugh type, because, I take life very seriously. Our lifetime is short on this physical plane, and I got to do all I got to do to make things happen in a way that's going to be effective, where I'm going to leave a legacy to help others so they can help themselves. I got to leave my imprint of who I am. You know what I mean? Like, really, personally, it's not really about me, but, I like the principles that I have are effective for anybody. It's not just about me. So that's why I'm talking about food co-op, and I know it may seem mundane to others, because this is the start of something great. Not only are we talking about food co-oping, we are talking about co-oping on every single level and rebuilding a team, a group, a village of people that are about it, really about it. Not talk, not posting things about how disappointed they are about the political system, how disappointed they are about what's happening in the school system. Screw it. Design your life. Okay? That's what it's all about. The universe, God, whatever you want to call, put you here to be a creator. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Are you creating, or you waiting for somebody to create a path for you? Nobody's going to do it, because history tells us that don't work. It doesn't work like that. Okay? Look at Harriet Tubman. Do you think somebody carved a way out for freedom for her and to help her free other slaves? Absolutely not. She took it. She made it happen. She took out her map, and she said, where's the North Star? Where's this star? Where does the sun set? You know what I mean? What type of terrain do we have to deal with? What type of threats do we have to prepare for? And what people can I talk to? Because there were people during that time that she couldn't save, because they didn't even know they were enslaved. You know what I'm saying? They had no clue, and they were sitting on 22s. They were sipping and popping bottles. Let's just say it like that. I'm being sarcastic, but really, they weren't about it. And that's why they stayed down there. And she took the people who were about it and others who are unnamed, and they said, nah, we got to make it happen. We got to get to freedom. And freedom is not just in the slave, because everybody's a slave, no matter what your race is, your ethnicity, if you're not taking control of your life. This is not, just a one person, one ethnic thing. This is everybody. Take control of your life, okay? Do it now, okay? Because, when we worry about, I had a conversation earlier, when we say, let's just, again, I'm using symbolic. I don't necessarily believe in this type of word, talking about the devil itself, but the devil is doing his job. He's doing his job by creating turmoil and evil. That's what the devil does. You can't get mad at the man who's doing what he's supposed to do. You can't get mad at the dog with teeth that bites. He's there to bite you. What, you gonna complain that the dog is biting? Like that's what he there to do. He there to hunt and be a hunter. He there to piss on trees. You know, pardon my language. You know, the cat is there to chase mice. The orange tree is there to, you know, create oranges. You know, the question I ask is, what are you doing? You in my audience, anybody who's listening, what are you doing? Okay? Are you doing something about what you're here to do? Okay? And when you come to that conclusion that you're here to do what you got to do, and you know what your purpose is, then you don't have to worry about what the devil's doing, how evil is. Because evil going to be evil, because evil's here to do evil. Dark is there to be dark. Light is here to be light. I don't hear the sun complaining about the nighttime, and the nighttime don't complain about the sun. They just take their roles and do what they do. Okay? So therefore, I'm asking you, my audience, and people that are out there, find your purpose. Okay? Decide, do you want to take control of your life economically, health-wise, mentally-wise? It's up to you. Okay? And food co-oping is a great part of starting that process, because our health is important. We're worried about medical coverage, insurance coverage, and all this stuff. Now, look, 100 years ago, there was no insurance. The thousands and hundreds of thousands of years we've been on this planet, there was no such thing as health coverage. And we survived fine, okay? Because we ate healthy, our minds were healthy, and we lived a healthy lifestyle. Okay, now everybody's worried about, well, I need to have health. Yeah, we do, but I'm not going to give away my freedoms for health care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give away my freedoms for a job. You know what I'm saying? If it means I got to get out here and do what I got to do in different aspects, I'm not going to beg no man. No man is superior to me. You know, no woman, you know, except my kids, of course, you know, y'all are superior. But otherwise, nobody's superior to me, and I'm not superior to nobody else. You know, I'm just here to state and represent what I'm here to do, and share that with people who are conducive or on the same frequency with it. And that's why I have this radio station, because I'm not here to preach. I mean, it may sound like preaching, but I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to discuss, you know, make people believe what I believe in, because you're not going to hear me discuss my belief system. You're not going to hear me about my personal views of life or what's going on in my personal life, because it's irrelevant. What's relevant is that I connect with people who are serious, people who really want it. And we can work together to create greater things. It may not be a food co-op that jump. It may be something else. It may be an economic co-op. And we have a group of people who we go around investing in substance, things of substance, things that we could analyze and put on a graph and scale and chart. Okay, what is this going to look like 3 years from now? What is it going to look like 3 months from now? What is it going to produce that's going to be beneficial to us? Whether it's a service that we're providing to the world, whether it's a career that we're trying to put maybe a young person through a career to be an attorney, and it may take 20 of us to put that young person through, but they're not going to go to a bank to get that money. They're not going to have allegiance and be in debt for the rest of their life to a bank, you know what I mean? Or we could control the bank by using our collective power and say, if you don't give this person a loan to go to school, guess what? We're going to pull our money out, all couple of $1 million of it, and make you hurt, you know. And other people do this from other countries, and then people worry about why other countries are so successful, because they know how to use collective power, and therefore they deserve it. You can't get mad at them. They deserve it. So what do you deserve? Okay? Again, we're claiming what we want. We're not asking. We're not complaining. We're not talking about it. We're making that happen right now. And like I said, this answer now is a food co-op. The food co-op is important because you control your food, you control your health. If you control your health, you control your mind. If you have control over your thoughts and your mind, you can control your destiny, because your destiny is created by your mind. Okay? The car you drive in, whether it's a BMW or old Pinto, was designed in somebody's mind first. It was not just thrown together and thrown on the road. Somebody designed that. Somebody in their head, before they drew it out, before they wrote it out, looked in their head, in their self, to create a product that somebody wanted. And people have it, and people love it, and spend millions and thousands of dollars on this product. Okay? You got the same capabilities, you know. At least most of us do, you know. And I'm just saying, this is how great things are made. This is why building greatness is building greatness. It's real. It's like you got to build it. You know, I'm not asking nobody for it. I'm telling you this is what I'm going to do. And if you are on board, get on board and let's make this ship roll. But don't try to jump on board after, because I believe in success. We are going to be successful. Building Greatness Youth Voice Collective is going to be a major success story and pivotally change the civilization we live in. And I believe in that, and I know that, and the investors that are investing in me believe that. Genesis Radio believes that. Okay, we believe this because we know it to be true. Okay, we've seen the evidence, we've seen the data, we've seen the facts. When you put your mind, like again, use Harriet Tubman again, she didn't know what freedom was. No person in slavery knew what freedom was because they never saw it. Besides, after they got off that ship, they didn't know where they were, what they were doing, what was going on. But what they did do is they believed that this ain't going to be it. Look, I may be picking cotton and getting a square meal a day and just, nah. I'd rather be dead because there's something else out here. So I'd rather die trying than sit here and pick cotton thinking this is the end all. Nah. Okay, some people did that and that's where they belong and that's where they stayed. But there was some people say, there's something greater than this. The same way people came from Europe to America, the same thing. Like they were like, nah, I'm not following no kings and queens and all this royalty. I don't want people telling me what to do. I want to be free. And that was the basic principle why people came here from Europe, is to escape the slavery they were in Europe, you know, and the oppression they were dealing with. Okay, we all have this story. So the only way it happened is somebody did not know what was across the ocean before they went there. They had to dream there was something better. And even though they got lost and they were really trying to get to India, they ended up in the West Indies and called it West India. You know what I mean? But they made it West India, and now people call it West Indies, correct? It's really not West Indies. You know, Jamaica and the Caribbean, that's not really West Indies. You know what I mean? It was an accident. But yet, because of the fact they made it real through the thought process, they put the team together to make it happen. They put the ship together. They charted the course. They kept their compass where it's all, and they still got lost. But I mean, I don't know why that's the case, but I'm not going to go there. But the whole point is they made it happen. And to this day, people still call it the West Indies. And there's nothing Indian about West Indies. And there's nothing Indian about Native Americans. Okay, but because somebody thought it was and made it happen, now the rest of the world calls it that. So when you see a Cherokee or Apache, a Comanche, even when you see a Mexican, those are Native Americans, period. Hands down, they're Native Americans. They're not Indians at all, and neither are they Spanish. I mean, just a little word of history, and I'm just speaking facts. I'm not talking crap. Research it yourself if you don't believe me, okay? I never ask people to take my word for anything. I tell people to do their own research and see the facts, see the data, put it through the litmus test. Because I don't believe nothing I just hear, you know. I put it to the test, okay? And now I'm telling you to put it through the test. Put building greatness through the test. Show me where this is not going to be successful. It's only successful because I know it's going to be. And that's why I'm asking the people who are serious to hurry up and get on board. Remember, if you are a biblical person, know the story of Noah's Ark. It wasn't a joke, okay? It was symbolic to something that is repeating itself again. And we just tend not to look at it because we think we're looking for a boat in the rain and 40 days of rain. Nah, it's not what's going to happen, you know. That's not what's going to happen. Right now, we have an opportunity to redesign this planet, our world, and our civilization. When things get critical, that's the time we build. That's the time we say, oh, this is not the time. Look, okay, the politicians don't want to listen to us. We make our way. Screw them. What they going to do? Nothing. So we design the way we want to live. And we redirect our economy and we redirect our energy into the things that matter. Okay, whether it's our school system, whether it's now communicating with the teachers and our local government to say, look, this is what we're trying to do. This is how many people we have on board, and this is what we're going to make happen. Now, we would like to get the funding from the grants that are available out there for us. But if you don't, we'll pull our resources and make it happen somehow. But we just want the more people who are involved, the better it is, the easier, smoother the transition, and the more informative our team will be. So I know I kind of went off a little bit off of the food, basic food co-op, but I had to express that because there is a principle behind the food co-op. It's just not about food and saving money. It's about saying, listen, I had enough of being ripped off. I had enough, even when it comes to energy. I'm tired of PSE&G, Met-Ed, who else, Con Edison. I'm tired of them with these high bills. So what do? We start looking into alternative energy. And we say, you know what? You want to keep robbing us and you don't want to make no changes? We don't need you. We have solar power, we have hydropower, and that's what helps a civilization evolve. Because they say, no longer can we use steam engines, they're not practical. No longer can we use coal because coal's not practical. So I feel bad for all the people who thought that coals was going to come back. Again, it's about doing research. Do the research. There's no such thing as coal when you got fracking. Fracking is replacing coal. You know what I'm saying? So, and fracking doesn't require a lot of people, and it doesn't require miners. So they're not thinking about you, and they're just telling you what you want to hear, okay? Because that's what you want to hear. Jobs? Yeah, I'll give you a job, a job to sit there and listen to a lie. But when you really want to take control, you don't have to sit there and you don't have to give up your freedoms for something that you already have. If you have a skill, you have a job. You don't have to go to nobody. If you're a carpenter, do you really think you have to go to somebody for a job? No. You get together a small group of carpenters and start a group of carpenters who have a small firm of carpenters who go around and do carpentry work in the community. I'd use them before I use a major player or a major business who's not going to be reciprocal in the community. So, again, there are a lot of answers. There are a lot of solutions. The problems we have are no different than they were 1,000 years ago, 100 years. They're the same issues, So we just keep revisiting them because we keep thinking something has changed or really, there was somebody who really had your interests at heart. Nobody has your interest but you, the people around you, the people who you're on a frequency with. Now, if you sit around drinking beer every Sunday and watching a football game, yeah, you have a group of people who sit around, they spend money on beer, they spend money on chicken wings, and they spend money on electricity watching a bunch of rich people run around with football. That's it. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Jermaine Carson? I'll give you that link. The website is now up. It's called buildinggreatness.com. 1G. Building, and that same G is the only one G in the middle. Okay, it's not building greatness, 2 words. It's buildinggreatness.com. Okay, and that's BUILDINGGREATNESS. That's buildinggreatness.com. Now, please work with me, everybody. The website is still in its building, in its process of evolution. So there are some things you can do, and there are certain things. So it's still under construction, but it's a work. But if you want to contact me, inbox me. That's better to inbox me, and then you give me a number. We can talk in person, Jermaine. All right. I appreciate you reaching out. You're one of those people who I know are about it, and I'd love to link up with you. Kim Jones, Tina, Deborah Coffer, Valina Hayes, Jerry Chisholm, Mutaka Beer, Travis Hepner, Odette Russell, Anthea Wright, Eric Beckles, Cornelia Wright, Rue Wright, Manito Real Talk Wright. There's just a lot of people. I don't want to, again, start naming a whole bunch of names. Everybody knows who they are, and if you really want to know who's supportive of this, you could always go to my page. And anytime I link you in something, if you have a business, I'm going to put your link in a response because I think that's the way we should use social media. Social media is a powerful tool. We can use it to make ourselves great. We can use it to get our point across. We can use it to make money. We can use it to be cooperative and collective. So part of what I do is when somebody supports one of my videos, shares it, likes it, makes a comment, what I do is if they have a business, if they have a service, I link it in my response to them so that when people look down, they say, oh, wait a minute, I need a photographer and I'm in Arizona, they'll see Wayne Farham. If somebody's looking for some character building, leadership building, powerful things, they'll go to Lady Sensei and they'll realize she's a very well-developed martial artist, and so is the Swam family, and you could get some very good information, advice from them all. When you look at Tina Brown, she's a very good speaker. She also has a book. You could also check her book out and get more information on what she does. But I'll also be posting these things in the same link, so you'll get a chance to go into depth with what they do. And Kim Jones as well. She does some great things. I think everybody should take the time out to really visit Kim Jones and her page. And her kids are awesome. I had them on the Youth Voice Collective show. They are completely talented kids, and they are going to definitely be pivotal in making changes in this world as well. So I hope to have them on Youth Voice Collective again and cover some of the things they're doing. Also, the McDonald family, they do tax preparation. So if you need your taxes done, you can connect with Kareem McDonald or Lucius McDonald, and they can do your taxes. They're accountants. They do some great work. So again, like I said, I like to sponsor myself during the radio, talking about the people who are connected, because it's very important to me that people are involved in what I'm doing and what we're all doing, because it's not about me, but the involvement, the little like that somebody does means more to me than anything, because that like shows me you're paying attention, it shows me you have an interest, and that we have a potential to do great things together. If you don't comment, you don't say anything, that's fine. You could just watch. Hopefully you learn something, and you could bring it back to where you're going and do something. And so Genesis Radio, I'm using this platform to help people understand that, you know, the changes that need to be made in this world, the very things that we may not feel comfortable about, are in our hands to make it happen. You are blessed. You are gifted to make these things happen. I stray away from talk about religion and politics, because I think that is a distraction when it comes to the point of us. We all have to eat. We all bleed red. You know what I'm saying? So all of that other stuff is irrelevant. What's relevant is the work that you're doing. And that's what God is going to look at. God's not going to look at how many times you went to church, or how many times you went to a mosque, how much times you read the Torah. It doesn't really matter, because the work that you do is more important than what you claiming to be about. You know, instead, you know, again, like, you know, I don't like to get into this, but I like to make these associations so people understand where I stand, that, you know, I'm not going to discuss religion. Please do not try to come to me with any kind of religious indoctrination. I'm not interested. I'm interested in what are you doing. So if you know something about the Bible, let's just say Bible, Jesus Christ, you see what the work Jesus did. Like, he wasn't about talking about it, he was doing it. He wasn't sitting in church on Sunday. He was out there talking and touching people's lives. Okay, the same thing with Muhammad, or the same thing with anything that happened in the Torah and Israel. Like, all these religions had examples of people that were doing the work. They weren't miracles per se. They were people who put their minds to something, realized the power of their mind, and made it happen. Okay? And we are much more gifted than you think. So that's why I don't get religion, because I understand the principles of religion, but I'm not sure that I want to sit there and talk about it. I want to get out here in the streets. I want to get out here in the grassroots level and really work with people who want to be on the same frequency. Okay, I'm not about giving nobody anything. Okay, nobody's going to give without earning. Okay, or get without earning. We have to earn what we want. And when we put in that work, it's going to show. It's the same how I got here to Genesis Radio. It was in my mind. I had something to do. I got to do something in the Poconos, because this is where I reside from time to time. And I want people to know that this is what I'm about. Okay, and Deborah Coffer knows what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? You know, the people who know me know what Sharice Spann knows what I'm about. You know, and I'm always redesigning, inputting, giving back to my community, and teach them valuable skills, because I've learned valuable skills. So now I can take those valuable skills and bring it to somebody else and help them build their life. Now, how does this all pan out to character assessment? Again, building a great team of people to get a task done, to get a project done. You have to understand the type of people you have around you. You have to understand, like James Peck. What's up, James? You have to understand the type of character these people are before you put them on your team, or before you work with them, because you got to make sure you have the same common goals. You got to make sure your principles are similar. It doesn't have to be the same, but you have to have similar principles. Just like, you have to know that some of the stuff you're going to do is selfless. So you got to have a group of people who understand that some of the work you're going to do is selfless. It's not going to always be an immediate reward. So I'm not going to connect with somebody who's looking for immediate return, because they're in the wrong business. I'm in the business of a slow, calculated process of redesigning my life and the people around me, and understanding the resources that we have around us, understanding the human resources that we have, the knowledge that's in somebody's head that could help make something greater or better, the businesses who support us. Okay, right now, as of now, I have not gotten any support from some of the local business, but I will be out there on the pavement. And better believe, if I don't get support from you in some fashion or form, guaranteed you're going to lose my business. And, I'm all about community. I'm all about independent business. But if you feel like I am not worth your time, my dollars ain't worth putting in your pocket. Okay, and that's just how it is. And the same thing with people. I'm not going to work with you if I know that you're not serious about doing the work, because a lot of it is building it from the ground. Nobody's done this before. And the people who have done it have left a blueprint. And the blueprint is going to take some work. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take people putting their heads together and being consistent. Okay, I'm not very good at my timing sometimes. I'm not very good at communicating with people on a personal level all the time, but I am definitely consistent about what I've done. The type of work that I do in my community. I'm consistent, and I've only developed a greater way, and now I've evolved to have a platform where I can reach not only people in my immediate community, but I can reach the broader national community, the broader global community. And I'll do that if I have to. If I can't find it here in the Poconos, guaranteed it's out there. There are people who are about it, and I'll find them, and they'll find me, and we'll connect, and we'll make this thing grow. But as of now, I like to work locally first. I like to give my local support to my local schools, education system, businesses, and the local government, and have them understand what I'm doing, so that they have an opportunity to know that they have an innovator on their hands, someone who's going to make it happen. I can talk to anybody. I can talk to anyone. It doesn't matter whether I believe what you believe or not. You could even disagree. We don't have to have the same political beliefs, but I can still talk because we still have a common goal. Okay? So if you're out there and you're listening in the audience, please contact me. I'm starting with the food co-op. If you know something better, I'm with that too. Become with something, because the ship is boarding and the engines are revving, and, waiting for those people who claim to be about it to really be about it. You know what I mean? And the ones that have, I'm so grateful for you. Lisa Tillman, I thank you for your support. Onisha, I want to thank Jermaine Carson, because he's steadily coming in, and I know that we go way back. And, I think a lot of people who are in my circle who are either inspiring me, who are either inspiring people around me, they're commenting, they're giving me feedback, because the feedback is so important for us to make ourselves better. It's almost like when you work out and then you say, okay, I work out now, let me put this to function. Now let me go in the ring and see how well I develop. Oh, you didn't work on your breathing, so now you got to work on your wind, and it tells you where you got to work on things, So that's why I believe in functional self-defense and functional working out. I don't believe in just lifting weights just to lift weights. What am I building that muscle for? What is it going to be useful for? When I'm doing self-defense, that's why I don't necessarily claim to be a martial artist, because even though I know martial arts, I'm more interested in how do I use a short form technique to defend myself or save somebody's life, or to help teach people in different realms, whether civilian, law enforcement, military, whatever it is, show them how to use or use their application properly to save lives or defend themselves, or to be greater. So you don't have to always pull out your firearm when you could know that your hands are very lethal, or you could subdue somebody without killing them. You know what I'm saying? So all of those things come into the same play. This is where I represent. This is what I'm about. I'm all about food co-oping. I'm all about co-op in general, collective power, economic power, character assessment. These are things. Assess my character. I don't mind. Like, ain't nothing, I'm hiding. Like, assess my character. If I'm not worthy, show me where I got to build up, and I'll build that up. You know what I mean? I don't mind getting checked. You know what I mean? That's how I get where I'm at. I remember growing up in Uniondale and Long Island, and the way I got stronger and more made into a man is because I had to deal with the older cats, and the older cats always tested us. And I know Jermaine Carson knows about that, and a couple other people listening, and that's what helped us become so strong. And we just had a strong breed of men who came from those areas, like G. Strong and Jamel Wilson and Dice Valentino and Sharif and and Eric Tischler and all of us. We were all like we were strong people because we were made from some great stuff. We had a lot of testing to test our will to make us into greater men and learn from our mistakes. And women too. I had a great deal of women around me, mainly in my family, some great women who lifted me to where I'm at. And my grandmothers, my aunts, my Aunt Yvonne out in California, thank you. My Uncle Wayne, thank you. Because, like, without y'all, I wouldn't have been I wouldn't have got this far. My mother for make me into a man at 16. Like, when I thought I could do it and thought I knew it all, she was like, nah, you got to get up out my house if you're going to do it your way. And, yeah, at the time it wasn't right. I wasn't. But because she put me in a position where I had to now learn how to be a man and learn how to choose my battles wisely, it made me so much more into a man that, I'm still learning what it is to be a man. I'm still learning. It's never ending cycle, because now that I have people around me, there are people around me who help shape me and become a greater man and better at what I do, and so I'm grateful for that. I want to thank Alicia Shante. I want to thank King Menelik. I want to thank Real Life Girl. I know you're out there. Let me see what else is going on. Deborah Carfer, thank you for your support. Thank you, James Peck. Thank you. You know what I'm talking about, James. You remember. Jermaine Carson, thank you. My Bartenders is another one. So Manito Real Talk, Rosino, Michael Fontaine, like the bartenders are one of the examples of how to change a community, physically, just from a physical, but this mental too now, because it's mind up. So I want to thank Michael Fontaine. I want to salute all the bartenders out there, and because you're changing our communities, but from the ground up, from the mind up. That's why it's always mind up. You take those young people and you put strength, you show them how dynamic their bodies are, and through that they learn how dynamic their minds are. And they grow to be great people in life and do great things and change lives themselves. So the bartenders are doing major work, major work. Fred Beasley, thank you for, what you're putting out there. So, these are just little shout outs I'm putting out to people. I want to thank Francis Ducorum. I know you out there, brother. And, always got you in mind. And, thank you. I know I keep saying and but it's okay. Everybody understands what I'm saying and where I'm coming from. It's the point of what I'm making. We get into little details about, pronunciation and grammar, and it's all great. When I get into that realm where I have to use that, I do. But right now, I like to shoot from the hip to get my message across. And it doesn't always sound perfect. I don't always say it in a way that people may say, oh, well, you're not saying, well, if you're getting into the way I'm saying and not understand where I'm coming from, then we on the wrong track anyway. But yeah, when I go into a business setting and I'm doing business with some people who may not understand, that shoot from the hip is proper, I will professionally talk to make that happen. But when it comes to this radio station like Genesis Radio, This is free form. This is a platform. And I thank everybody for their support. Terry, TP Square, Cal, Karen, Kevin, Dutchy Bang right here making it happen behind the scenes. I just want to give y'all a little shout out. There's Dutchy Bang. He's about to have his show, you know. So
Yes, the Big Bang Show coming in April. Check it out.
and that's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna be checking it out. You know, so I want to thank all the people who are just behind the scenes making it happen. Thanks again so much. I'm grateful. My time is up. I hope you tune in next week and keep posted on my page, Building Greatness Youth Voice Collective. Stay tuned because we got things we're going to be putting on there. So that's how you keep, because I'll be doing things through the week. And, you know, keep me informed. Anybody who's down, inbox me, hit me up. Or here's my number real quick. Got my business card right here. Building Greatness. Okay? You see that? You call me. You can hit me. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm everywhere. OG everywhere. Okay, that's my Instagram. OGA everywhere. All right? Love y'all all. I'm signing off. Can't wait to make these great things happen, y'all. Thanks again. Over and out.